Hi everybody, I hope you're having a good day. And today, first of all, I'm Todd, if you don't know that already. And this is what I saw today, or better put, this is what I'm up to today. There's a story behind this. Isn't there always a story? What you're looking at there is a 1936 Philco Baby Grand Model 116B. I did not know that until today. I'll show you how I found out here in a minute. Where did that come from? So I met my wife in 1992, and this had belonged to her father, my father-in-law, who I never met. He had passed away. He died of cancer in like 89 or 90, so I never got to meet him. I heard a lot about him. He was a good man. And his business, and they lived in Houston, or in Pasadena, in the Houston area most of her life. And he was in the radio repair business. So he, and that goes back to when he first started, and he would have been working on things like this that had the vacuum tubes, right? That was the technology back then. This is an AM/FM radio, and I think it may be more because you can't, I doubt you can see it. No, you can. So see how many the different rows there are, or columns, however you want to put it. And there's at least 4 and maybe 5 that I count. So I'm not sure what that is, different bands. But definitely, some radios at that time were only AM. I've learned this today, Google searching, reading up on this kind of thing. And it has the selector there for which band you're trying to pick up, and volume and balance when the speakers, that maybe that's some kind of like treble or something there. And of course the dial indicator for what channel you're on. I don't think that's balance. That's got to be some sort of sound adjustment. If I remember correctly, there's only one speaker. Yeah, just the one speaker. So the only thing I found right over there, I don't know if you can see it, right there, there's an old tag, and it has that part number on it. Well, that part number is the part number for this case. And I did a search, and I found Philco list of models, and it was a PDF file, so I was able to search for it. It's a big list. They made radios for a lot of years, a lot of different models, and for homes and cars. And this case matches up to, the only one it matches up to. I was able to do a search on that PDF file and get down to about on the 5th or 6th page, about halfway down. It said this was the Baby Grand 116B in 1936. You can see, vacuum tubes. Anyway, this thing has been, well, my wife drug it around. I guess it had sentimental value for her. She never mentioned anything about trying to get it fixed or anything like that. Oh, right after I met her, or pretty shortly after that, she's showing me this and telling me, oh, my dad kept this, and he repaired radios, and telling me about her dad. And I'm like, oh, cool. Does it work? I don't know. Well, let's plug it in and see. She said, I don't know if that's a good idea. It probably hasn't been plugged in or used in a long time, and I just don't know. She was a little apprehensive about it. Oh, it'll be all right. Let's check it out. So I plug it in and reach down to try to turn it on or find something. And it shocked me, and not just a little bit. It got me good. Woo! Don't do that again. So I unplugged it. She was right. And of course, she let me know about it. Anyway, to get on with it, I thought about, okay, it would be cool to get this thing going again. And I'll see what that would take. Been doing this research. I reached out to Tom Miller. And if you've been watching my channel a while, you might remember Tom Miller. He is, in my opinion, just my humble opinion, but I believe he is the best radio or stereo or electronics repairman on the face of the earth. And when Tom started repairing radios as a kid, as a teenager in his dad's shop, this would have been the kind of radios he worked on. Everything was vacuum tubes, whether it was radios or TVs. So he's very familiar with this, and he still restores things like this. So I hit him up, and he said, yeah, he'd take it on. It might take a while. At that point, we didn't know exactly what it was, just that it was old. We guessed 30s or 40s. But he said the parts, you know, there's not like antiqueradios.com where you can just, like a catalog of parts, like you can just order whatever you need. And you got to look around, and, you know, there's places. Usually you can find stuff, but it's not cheap. So to get this refurbished and in working order, he said it would take a lot of time and a good bit of money. So naturally, I had second thoughts. And I went and looked it up. And I thought that this would be a lot rarer and more valuable. On eBay, I didn't find this exact one, but in this same era, you can buy ones that the wood is just really nice, unlike this one. This one's worn, and I could clean it up and put some wood treatment or something on it, make it look better. But in working order, just a lot nicer than this one. And you can get those for like $300. And the way Tom talked, it would cost considerably more than that to get this back in working order. And the thing's all faded and everything. And if you turn this dial to just the right spot, I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. You're going to have to trust me. There's a spider in there, like a petrified spider. I don't know. It's been there forever. My wife knew where it was. She could dial in and find the little spider. But anyway, that's what's going on with that. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more, and that's gonna be like a table where it's been for a long time. And yeah, I'm not gonna restore it. And I'm not gonna throw it away either. And I did write on a piece of paper the model that it is, and I'm gonna tape that to the inside of the cabinet for anybody in the future that's wondering, hey, wonder what this is. Right quick. Inside the cabinet, Cunningham radio service. Come on, focus. Focus, focus, focus. 1710-12 Leland Avenue. And I would bet money that Leland Avenue is in Houston or Pasadena. And usually, 1710 to 12 means it was a big building and took up two address spots. Or that could mean it was at 1710 Leland and it was in unit number 12, like a strip mall with 12 units, or a multi-story building. But I think that probably means it was a pretty big place. And I'm not sure about that, but we can get close enough. We'll look at the 1700 block of Leland on Google Maps Street View and see what's there. That should be interesting. And I've got my paper taped in there with the information of what this is for anyone else in the future that's trying to figure it out, help them out. Yep. And just for grins, and this has not been plugged in over 20 years, so no worries. There is a vacuum tube. Cool, huh? You think I ought to plug it in again and see what happens this time? I don't think so. I've made it too far to die of electrocution. Or actually, that would be death by stupidity. That may happen, but today ain't the day that it's going to happen. No, sir. Here is the 1700 block of Leland Avenue in Houston, Texas. And it appears that Cunningham's radio repair, where it used to be, is nothing. It has been torn down and nothing new built there. Too bad. I do have this weird idea about one thing that could be done here, I'm not going to do this, but what flashed through my mind was to take this and gut it and put a modern day super speaker there and a receiver with a Bluetooth here. But I have a great vintage stereo that sounds freaking awesome. Why would I spend the money and time to do that? And then at the same time, I would be destroying a piece of history that maybe someday, I mean, this is only what, 11 years from being 100 years old. So we're just going to leave her alone. May your troubles be few and your blessings be many. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. And until next time, Todd is out.